You have reached Red Steele's Liquid Review. I'm your man, Red Steele, and today I have a very special review because I'll be reviewing Transformers Legacy United Magmatron. Transformers Legacy United Magmatron. But before I get to the actual review, I just want to go over some of the awesome details on this packaging. Up front here is a beautiful illustration of Magmatron in his robot mode. In the corner you have Landsaurus, Skysaurus, and Seasaurus. Over here it says 3-in-1. Below that you have the Predacon symbol. And over here it says Beast Wars Universe Magmatron. Next to that you have the Hasbro emblem. Then over here we have 8+ was the age requirement for this figure. Near the corner here you have the Takara Tomy Transformers Generations logos. Then down here it says Transformers. Below Magmatron you have the Transformers Legacy United logo, and over here it says it is a Commander class figure. Then on top of the packaging here you have Magmatron Space Cruiser, and next to that the Transformers Legacy United logo. Then on the side of the packaging here you have a beautiful illustration of Landsaurus, Skysaurus, and Seasaurus. Then on the other side of the packaging here, you have that beautiful montage of all the Transformers and Legacy United, starting with Wingblade, Tigatron, Magnius, Boulder Dash. Below that you have Magmatron. Over here you have Megatron. Over here you have Thundertron. You have Magnius and Nucleus, and you have part of Optimus Prime's leg. Then below all that you have 40 years of Transformers. Then on the back of the packaging you have all of the figures' features. You have Magmatron in his robot mode. Then alongside here you have 3 components that form Magmatron, starting with Landsaurus, Skysaurus, and Seasaurus. Over here it says 3-in-1. Over here some blast effects, and below that you have 40 years of Transformers. Next I'm going to go ahead and unbox Magmatron. And as you might know, I like to unbox my Transformers from the right side of the box. I'm going to go and grab my trusty scissors. I'm going to go and poke the tape right over here, run my nails through it. I'm going to go ahead and pry this side open a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide out Magmatron. I'm going to do that carefully because I don't want to damage the packaging too much. And there you have it. Magmatron's already shipped in his robot mode, which is really, really cool. And you have those little tie straps that are made out of paper, I believe. Well, I'm going to cut this just like that. You got the Seasaurus shield right there. I'm going to carefully cut this piece right here so I'm not damaging Magmatron. You got these wing pieces, which may take a little bit of care in cutting out. I have that other piece right here, which I'll probably cut from the back. I don't want to risk damaging it. And if you don't want to risk cutting your figure, it looks like they tied it very loosely in the back here, so you can like untie the straps. But then you go through that long, tedious process where I just want to rip my figure out. And I just want to go ahead and cut him out. So I'm going to cut his arm out here. Yeah, Magmatron's a big, big, big figure. And I'm kind of glad he came assembled in his robot mode. It makes reviewing him a lot easier. Because if using 3 components, I would have to go ahead and transform him before I can go ahead and review him. Which is quite tedious, but even getting him unboxed is getting kind of tedious right now because there's just so many tie straps that are holding them down. Kind of reminds me of Armada Unicron. Armada Unicron had like hundreds of little tie straps that held him into his package, which you gotta appreciate a little bit because there we go. I think he is finally almost free. He kind of has that feel of the original Beast Wars Neo Magmatron. I don't own a Beast Wars United States Magmatron, so the review that I'm probably going to do the comparison later on with is going to be with the Beast Wars Neo version of Magmatron. And this figure is pretty big. Pretty big and bulky, and I don't have him assembled correctly because he's right out of the package, as you can see. Then on the box right here, I believe there's this other piece, not sure what it is, but I'm going to cut that out too. It looks like maybe it's a blaster, or no, it's a hilt for the sword. And you got another piece right here, which I'm going to unwrap. Because, you know, sometimes Hasbro will throw these little pieces that are wrapped in paper and they'll be like hidden throughout the box. Put this off to the side. Let's see what's inside of this piece right here. Which they kind of wrap it up in tape, so you're gonna be tearing open this. Oh, the blast effects are in here. Looks like got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blast effects. Looks like 7 so far. Then you have, looks like the piece of his headdress, or no, looks like swords. And it looks like you have the main sword right here. And it doesn't look like there's anything else in here. Put that off to the side. And you also have the instructions here. I'm going to go ahead and throw this review together and I'll be right back. Transformers Legacy United Commander Class Beast Wars Universe Magmatron. Magmatron was released on May 24th, 2024 with the suggested retail price of $89.99 and is available at all major retailers. Magmatron is a Beast Wars Neo-inspired figure that converts to his combined mode with 3 dinosaur components. His accessories include his Magma Blade, Sword Hilt, 7 blast effects, and instructions. Magmatron stands 10 inches tall and he is meant for fans ages 8 and up. Next, we're going to convert Magmatron from his robot mode into his 3 dinosaur components, Landsaurs, Skysaurs, and Seasaurs. But the first thing you always do before you transform into your Transformers, you want to remove all the weapons and accessories. I'm going to take his shield, unclip it, and put it off to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Magma Blade and take Magmatron and put him off to the side. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this blade and remove it from the hilt. Because the first step of the transformation, you have the hilt right here. You have a hinge joint. And you just want to pop this piece out just like that. Step number 2. You want to take this hilt now. You get this tabs right here. You want to push them down so these pieces kind of pop up. Because in step number 3, you got a hinge joint right here. You want to flip this piece out just like that. Do it to the other side. You get the hinge joint. You want to flip this piece out just like that. In step number 4, you got a hinge joint right there and right there. Don't you just go and flip this piece out just like that. Because in step number 5, you have this piece right here and there's a hinge joint right there. Then why don't you go ahead and flip this piece out just like that. Step number 6. So we're going to grab Magmatron's shield. You got these 2 fins right here. You got 2 sliding joints right there and right there. We're going to slide that fin up just like that. Go ahead and do it the other side. Go that fin and slide up just like that. Because in step number 7, what do these fins now? You want to flip them up just like that. And just like that. Because in step number 8, you want to flip the shield over. Get these 2 panels right there and right there. Get a couple hinge joints right there and right there. I'm going to flip that up just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Take this panel and flip it up just like that. Because in step number 9, get this piece of the shield right here. Notice on a hinge joint. Then once you go ahead and flip it down just like that. Because in step number 10, you have this piece up here. There's a hinge joint. Then once you go ahead and flip it up just like that. Step number 11. Get these wing pieces on the side of Magmatron's head. You want to go and bring it up just like that. Go into the other side. Bring it up just like that. Step number 12. You want to turn Magmatron all the way around. Get this whole backpack piece right here. You want to take this backpack piece, untab it, and pull it right out of place just like that. Step number 13. On Deathsaurus's chest, you'll see Skysaurus's head and his claws. What they want to do next is take the claws, bring it up just like that, and just like that. Because next you want to take Skysaurus's head, bring it up just like that. Because in step number 14, we're going to turn Deathsaurus all the way around. Get this whole headpiece right here. Then once you go ahead and pull it out just like that. Step number 15. You want to take Seasaurus's head. You want to unpeg it from the shoulder. You want to swing it back around. And you want to straighten out the neck just like that. Because in step number 16, you want to flip them up just like this. And you got a hinge joint. You want to flip it out just like that. Because in step number 17, get this whole piece right here. You want to go ahead and flip it out just like that. Step number 18. You want to take C-Saws, flip them all the way around. Get these two arm pieces right there and right there. Within the shoulders, you got a hinge joint right there and right there. Let's go take these shoulder pieces and just bring them in just like that. Go ahead and do it to the other side. Bring it in just like that. Because in step number 19, they want to take these arm pieces now, swing them outward just like that. Go ahead and do it to the other side. Swing it out just like that. Because in step number 20, they want to go take this arm piece right here, and they want you to go ahead and flip it back just like that. They want you to go and take this arm piece now and flip it forward just like that. Because in step number 21, under these shoulder pieces right here, you got a porthole right there, you got a tab right there. So just go bring these pieces down so it tabs right into place, just like that. Do that to the other side. Get the little tab right there, you got that porthole. And let's just go and bring it down just like that. Because in step number 22, right at the elbow joint, they want you to go and bend the arm. You got a tab right there. And on the top of the bicep or the shoulder, you got a porthole right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. So they want you to go and bring this arm in and tap it in place just like that. Go and do it to the other side. You got this arm piece. You got that tab. Top of the shoulder right here, you got a porthole. So let's go and bring these arm pieces so it tabs right in place just like that. So the piece should look like this in the end. Step number 23. You want to turn C-Saws around just like this? You get this piece right here. You got a hinge joint right there. Then once you go slightly bring it down, because in step number 24, you get this arm piece right here. Here's this black panel right here. You want to bring it up just like that. Step number 25. You want to grab C-Saws. Get this whole arm assembly right here. We're going to shift to the left, just like that. Because in step number 26, what you want to do is arm assembly now is rotate it around just like that. Because in step number 27, you have this groove right here. You have that whole arm assembly right there. You want to fit it in place just like that. Because in step number 28, you got this panel right here. You want to flip this panel up just like that. Because in step number 29, you got a panel right there. You got a panel right there. A hinge joint right there. Hinge joint right there. Take those panels and flip them down just like that. Do that to the other side. Take this panel and flip it down just like that. Step number 30. You want to go ahead and grab Magmatron's shield. On the bottom of Magmatron's shield, you see various tabs, like right there. Well, you'll note that there's extremely large portholes right there and right there. If you grab C-Saws, you'll see some extremely large tabs right there and right there. You want to make sure that these extremely large tabs match up with those extremely large portholes on the shield. So you want to go ahead and just line them up. And you'll notice that there's various panels throughout all of C-Saws. You just want to kind of push them together, and they kind of tab right into place, just like that. Very nicely. Get this back piece right here, you want to bring that up. Because in step number 31, get a couple tabs right there and right there. And this tail right here has a porthole right there and right there. You just want to go and push that in just like that. Because in step number 32, get this whole neck assembly. And they just simply want you to go and rotate that all the way around, just like that. Because in step number 33, get this panel right here. They want you to just go and push that in place just like that. Because in step number 34, we're going to turn C-Saws all the way around. Some large tabs right there, and right there. Very large portholes right there, and right there. You want to go ahead and push all that together just like that. Because in step number 35, they want you to go ahead and open this up just like that. And now you have C-Saws in its full beast mode. Next, go ahead and grab Magmatron's head. Because in step number 36, you got Air Source's head. You want to bring it down just like that. Because in step number 37, this whole assembly right here, there's a hinge joint right here. You want to bring it over Magmatron's face, so you got that chest piece covering his face now. Because in step number 38, you got these feet pieces right here. All they want you to go ahead and do is they want you to go ahead and flip those up just like that, and just like that. Because in step number 39, they want you to go ahead and bring the legs down just like this, and just like that. Because in step number 40, At this beak right here, just going to open it up just like that. And now you have air source in its full dinosaur mode. Step number 41. Get this chest piece right here. But on this chest piece, you got a couple hinges right there and right there. You gotta take these chest pieces and untab them and bring down just like that. And just like that. Because in step number 42, you got a little panel right here. You got a hinge joint right here. All they want you to do is go ahead and pop this panel out just like this. Because in step number 43, they want you to take this whole top assembly right here. And they want you to go ahead and bring it up just like that. Step number 44. You got this whole headpiece right here. You want to go ahead and rotate it around just like that. Step number 45. Once these two gray panels right here on the chest, you want to bring them down just like that and just like that. Because in step number 46, you want to go ahead and rotate them in just like this and just like that, and you want to tab them all into place just like that. Because in step number 47, get this purple panel right here. You want to bring it down just like that. Step number 48. Once this whole headpiece right here, you want to bring it back just like that. Because in step number 49, get these panels right there and right there. You got various tabs, you got various portholes. You want to make sure when you put these up, that these tab right into place just like that. Go and do it to the other side. You got this panel right here. You have various tabs and portholes. You want to make sure they all align. And you want to bring it in just like that. Step number 50. They want you to go and take these legs now, and they want you to kind of slightly open them up just like that. Step number 51. I want to go and grab Magmatron's slightly transformed hilt. Top of this hilt, you have this black piece. You have a tab right there, and you have a peg right there. On the inside of the tail right here, you have a porthole right there, and you have a square tab hole right there. You want to take this hilt, you want to make sure all those tabs and pegs are aligned. You put into place just like that. Step number 52. You have this panel right here. You want to go and flip it forward just like that. Step number 53. You have this black panel right here separating the top assembly and bottom assembly. All they want you to do at this point in time is take that panel and bring it forward just like that. Step number 54. On Lancesaurus's back here, you have this purple panel right here. You got a hinge joint right there. And inside that panel, you have a couple tabs right there and right there. Top of the tail here, you have a couple portholes right there and right there. All you have to do now is just take this panel and push it right in those portholes just like that. Step number 55. You want to go and take this tail piece right here. You want to bring it down just like that. And you notice I brought the chest plate up just a little bit. Because in step number 56, you want to check that chest plate. You want to bring it over all of this. And a couple tabs right there and right there. You got a porthole right there and right there. So you want to take this chest piece now. You want to bring it all up, over. And you want to tab everything right into place. Just like that. Step number 57. You want to turn Lancesaurus all the way around. You know, so on the back of his legs, he has two silver pieces right there and right there. You want to go and separate the silver pieces by taking the top piece and pulling it up just like that. Go and do that to your side. Take this top piece and pull it up just like that. In step number 58, you have this bottom piece now. You want to bring it up and in just like that. Go and do that to your side. Take this bottom piece right here. Bring it up and in just like that. Because in step number 59, just want to go and push this piece right into the leg just like that. I'm going to do it to your side. Go and push that piece right into the leg just like that. Because in step number 60, you have this top piece now. And then on the bottom of this top piece, you have a porthole right there. You got a tab right there. You want to go ahead and tab that right into place just like that. Go ahead and do the other side. Take this piece and tap it in place just like that. Step number 61. You want to take Lancesaurus. You want to flip him over. Because on the bottom of his feet, he's got some claws right there and right there. Right there and right there. What they want to do is go ahead and flip those claws into his foot. Just like that. And just like that. It's a little hard to get into, especially you got big fingers like mine. We'll do that to the other side. Take these claws, bring them in just like that, and bring the other one in just like that. Because in step number 62, get this heel piece right there and right there. And it's on a hinge joint. We're going to flip it into the other heel, just like that. Go and flip that in to the heel, just like that. Because in step number 63, You take this final piece right here and you flip it right into the foot just like that. Go into it to the other side, flip it into the foot just like that. Step number 64. You want to go and take Lancesaurus's legs and bring them in just like that. And just like that. This is step number 65. Then you go and bring the knee in and bring the foot down just like that. Go into the other side, take his knee, bend it, and bring that foot in just like that. Step number 66. You want to go and grab the magma blade? And on top of the magma blade, you notice there's a little tab right there. Well, we want to turn Lancesaurus all the way around, and on the bottom of his tail, he has a little groove right here. In the middle of that groove, you see a little porthole right there. We want to take the magma blade with the point facing outwards and the tab facing up. You want to put it in that slot, but you want to make sure that tab goes right into that porthole. And that should go right into place. Just like that. Step number 67. On the side of Lancesaurus here, you see his arm right there and right there. You want to go and untab it, just like that. Go and untab it, just like that. But step number 68, you want to swing the arm down just like this. Go and do it to the other side. Swing the arm down just like this. Because in step number 69, on the bottom of his jaw and neck right here, you have this piece. We're going to pull this piece down, and it forms the rest of Lancesaurus' neck. Because in Magmatron's 70th and final step, we'll take this jaw piece right here, bring it down just like that, and now you have Lancesaurus in his full beast mode. Next, we're going to go and take Lancesaurus, Skysaurus, and Seasaurus and convert them into Magmasaurus. But before you do that, you want to go and take Lancesaurus, put him off to the side. You go and take Skysaurus and put him off to the side. Because the first step of the transformation, you get this piece right here, which is kind of the neck. You want to go ahead and pop that up just like that. And then you want to go and take the tail. You also want to pop that up just like that. Because in step number 2, you want to take Seasaurus's head. You want to go and pop that up just like that. Because in step number 3, you get this shield piece down on the bottom here. You want to kind of separate it and put this piece off to the side. Step number 4, you want to go and flip over Seasaurus. Get this tail piece right here. You got a tab right here. You got a porthole right there. You want to go ahead and this hinge joint. You want to bring this piece and tab it right into place just like that. Because in step number 5, get these front fins right there and right there. You want to move those front fins up just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Bring that fin up just like that. Because in step number 6, you want to go and flip this fin forward just like that. Do that to the other side. You get this fin. Just flip it forward just like that. Because in step number 7, we're going to flip over the shield again. Get these panels right here. You got these hinge joints right on the inside. Then you go ahead and flip that in just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Flip it in just like that. Because in step number 8, you got this little clip right here. Then once you go and flip it out just like that. Step number 9. Want to take Seasaurus' top part now. You want to flip it over. And right here you have the hinge joint. Then what you go ahead and bring it down just like that. Because in step number 10, what they want you to go ahead and do, they want you to go ahead and bring this piece all the way forward just like that. Step number 11. We're going to take this piece now. You're going to rotate it counterclockwise, just like that. Because in step number 12, we'll take these fists now. And you want to go and untab them, just like that, and just like that. Because in step number 13, right at the elbows, you want to straighten these arms out just like that. Do that to the other side. Take this arm and straighten it out just like that. Step number 14. Get this arm right here with that attached to the gold piece right here. You want to rotate it all the way around just like that. Step number 15. You got these fists here. You want to go and rotate these around just like this. Do that to the other side. Rotate this fist all the way around just like this. This is step number 16. You want to go open up the hand just like that. And take the finger and open it up just like that. Go and do it to the other side. Take this hand, open it up just like that. And take this little finger and open it up just like that. Step number 17. You got these shoulder pieces right there and right there. Under these shoulder pieces, you have these black panels right there and right there. There's a hinge underneath it. And what you want to do is you want to go and pop that out. So it hinges right here. Do that to the other side. Go and pop it out just like that. Step number 18. They ask that you straighten out the panel on this one right here. You got the shell right here. You got a double jointed panel. And then once you go and straighten it out with the bottom panel and click it right into place just like that. Because in step number 19, you got these black panels right there and right there. And you got a hinge joint right there and right there. Then once you want to flip out these black pieces just like that. And just like that, you want to go ahead and tab them right into these little shoulder pieces right here. You got a tab right there. You got a porthole right there and right there. So I'm going to go ahead and tab those right into place just like that. And just like that. Because in step number 20, you have this little panel right here. Then once you're going to flip that out also, just like that. Step number 21, you want to go and grab Lansaurus. You want to go and turn him all the way around. You get this panel right here. You got a hinge joint right there. All they want you to do right now is go and flip that up just like that. Step number 22, you want to turn Lansaurus all the way around just like that. Because you're going to be using his tail for next part of this transformation. Next, you want to go and grab the bottom half of Steelsaurus. You need a couple little clips right there and right there. And what you want to do is you want to match up those clips with the clips on his tail right there and right there. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the smaller clip and clip it right into place. It'll kind of guide you into the larger clip, which is towards the middle of the shell, just like that. Step number 23, you want to go ahead and flip over Steelsaurus. A couple panels right there and right there. Got a hinge joint right there and right there. I want to go and flip this panel up and over just like that. Do that to the other side. You get this panel right here. You want to flip it over and up just like that. Because in step number 24, this little peg right there, got a porthole right on this tail right here. You want to go ahead and plug that panel, that tab, goes right in that porthole just like that. Do that to the other side. You got that little peg right there. And on the tail right here, that porthole, want to plug it into place just like that. Step number 25. On the inside of this piece right here, you'll see a porthole right there and two slotted tabs right there. You need a couple of tabs right there and right there. Well, you want to go ahead and grab the bottom portion of Steelsaurus right here. You got this major peg right here, and you got two slotted portholes right there. Of course, you got some portholes right there and right there. Want to make sure everything aligns up perfectly. And you do that by using the larger peg and the slotted pegs, and everything goes right into place just like that. Using step number 26, on the end of Steelsaurus here, you see a couple slotted pegs right there, and right there. And on the tail here, you got some portholes. And they just want to go ahead and spring it up just like that. Step number 27. Want to go and grab Skysaurus. You got his wings here. Want to go and rotate that up just like this. That to the other side, rotate it up just like this. This is step number 28. Once you go and take the head and straighten up just like that, and take the feet and bring it down just like that. Step number 29. On the top of the Lansaurus right here, you have a little porthole right there. Well, you want to go ahead and grab Skysaurus. Because Skysaurus's tail right has a little tab right there. And you get a couple little grooves in the neck right there and right there. You get a little tab right there and right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this little peg right there, bring it right into Lansaurus's back. At the same time, you want to push this so it tabs right into place just like that. Step number 30. You got this purple panel right here. You got a clip right there. And you got a tab right there. You want to bring this panel so it clips right into place just like that. Because in step number 31, you want to go back to the hind leg right here. You want to go ahead and bring this foot just like that. Do that to the other side. Bring that foot down just like that. Because in step number 32, you got this tail piece right here. We're bring that tail piece up and around to reveal Steelsaurus' head. Because in the 33rd and final step, you have Skysaurus' head. You want to go and bring that up just like that. And now you have Magmatron in his full beast mode. Now that Magmatron and its three separate components, Steelsaurus, Lansaurus, and Skysaurus, so I want to go over some of their play features. And I have to say, separating these three was quite a task. I mean, The only difference with this combiner is each individual component does not transform their own robot. All three of these just transform into Magmatron. They don't have robot mode, so you won't see me transforming these into a robot mode, which I'm very surprised because I noticed a lot of the more recent toy lines, they kind of took a little twist. Like, for instance, the Ark, they gave the Ark a robot mode. So I would have guessed that maybe Hasbro and Takara would have given these guys individual robot modes, but they want to stay very authentic to the original Magmatron. But I have to say, these dinosaurs are fantastic. I mean, there is a lot of great mold detail, lots of great paint detail, and there isn't a lot of like kibble. Like the outside shell is entirely the actual dinosaur. You don't see any evidence of robots. You might see a little bit of hollowed spots right here, but it's very forgivable. I mean, with Cesaurus though, I noticed that they made the neck a little bit thicker than the original. And I do own an original Neo, Beast Wars Neo version of Magmatron. I do not own the US version of this figure, so I can't really see the differences between the US and the Japanese release. But I will do my best to kind of do a side-by-side comparison with all these figures. But I mean, there's lots of articulation, and they have that little feature where I'm not sure if it's not working right now, but I thought if you move one of these flippers, it moves up, or I could be confusing it with the original version. But there isn't a whole lot with this figure. I mean, there's no ports to plug in the blast effects while they're in their dinosaur modes, which, I mean, it's very forgivable. These are just fantastic looking figures, and if I could get my hands on another one, I would actually display these figures in their beast modes. These are really, really great. I mean, you got like jaw articulation. I mean, they put ball socket joints throughout the neck right here. I mean, it's not long as skinny as the original, but it's still great. I mean, Cesaurus is a great figure, and I don't know, I like all three of the dinosaur modes because they did a really good job. They put a lot of care in these figures and a lot of love. Nicely done. Even with Lansaurus is very nice, and I mean, you see a little bit of, you know, gap in the mold right here, and you have some of the separation right here, but it's very forgivable because, I mean, it's a big figure. And I think when Magmatron was created, or when he came out, that was during that whole confusion with scientists, whether or not they wanted the T-Rex to stand upright like that, or have that weird, like, Jurassic Park type pose. But I still think this figure stood the test of time. And even with the release of this version of the figure, I mean, with the jaw articulation, it's very limited, because the original version of Lansaurus, you open his mouth, he fires a missile. And you do see a lot of robot kibble in the original figure. Here they did a better job hiding it. I mean, you got some mechanical parts right here where the knee joints, which is pretty cool. And the chest piece right here, they kind of hit it much better than the original version. But lots of articulation. It's a very big figure too. Very nicely done. Lots of great mold detail. And I really dig that they did the purple and they did the white. They kind of gave a little mohawk right here. Kind of give him a little bit of villainous look to him. Very nicely done. Even the head mold is very nicely done. You can see a lot of the detail right here. And now I want to go to Skysaurus. Skysaurus didn't let me down either. And I thought it was really cool how they still carried the swords over from the original figure. Another cool thing about these figures is you see these Predacon jewels. Those actually look just like the Predacon jewels from the original figure. I mean, you got the jaw articulation right here. You even got like molded teeth that are painted. It's very nicely done. I mean, this is a Commander class figure, and Commander class figures are very pricey, and I have to say this figure is worth the money. It's a great figure. I mean, I got into Beast Wars a little bit later because I'm G1 purist, but with Beast Wars, I mean, with the Kingdom figures, I was blown away with the updated versions of the originals, and I thought the original Beast Wars figures do not need updating. And I also thought this about Magmatron, like they'll never release Magmatron because he was a good figure to begin with, but they improved it because where this version of Magmatron excels past the original is the dinosaur modes are just solid. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison one by one. So I'm going to take Cesaurus and Skysaurus to come off the side. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the original Beast Wars Neo Lansaurus. And as you can see, like a lot of the kibble right here just didn't really blend in too well. I do like the light blue right here, like metallic blue paint right here. I would have preferred that over the white paint that they went with the recent version. But nonetheless, it's still nicely done. And I love that they did the mold detail too right here, the little spine right here. Pretty nicely done. And as the cool feature is, and I can't really do it right now, But the magma blade right here is in the tail. That's where you also store it in the original, but you kind of, there's a little bit of finagling you have to do to take it out, but it is actually in the tail and it's stored in the tail. The one thing that I noticed that they don't do with a lot of the recent Beast Wars lines is they took away a lot of the spring-loaded missiles, which is very forgivable because they went ahead and they wanted to stay very cartoon accurate to the original animated model from the series, which I love. I love that, you know, if you look at the dinosaur mode, it's much nicer than the original toy. The original toy kind of looks a little flimsy, but I mean, it's a three-parter with Hasbro with the newer toy lines and the Commander class. You're expected to pay for the quality. Here, they just, you know, they kind of wanted to give you more bang for your buck, but you know, a 3-for-1 deal was really cool. And like I said, this figure is very different than most Transformers because when you have separate components, they do usually transform into individual robots. They went away from doing that with Magmatron. But the cool feature with this one is, if you open his mouth up, he shoots a missile. And they took that feature out, which I'm not too disappointed about. I really do feel like that was in a lot of original purists, Beast Wars purists. You know, they grew up with Beast Wars having these fantastic gimmicks. And you know, a collector like myself with G1, we did have a lot of spring-loaded missiles, but they took that feature away with a lot of the other, you know, the War for Cybertron, Legacy, Studio Series figures, and that's very forgivable, like I said, with the quality. But with the original Lansaurus, you do have some kibble right here, and this is like part of what appears to be the chest of Magmatron. And I'm glad that they had it where they you fold a piece over the stomach right here, and that covers that piece up. But if you really wanted to display that, I think you can go without putting in this piece. This is the hilt right here, so you can go without doing that. I'm going to go and take Lansaurus and put them off to the side. Because the next figure I want to bring in is, I don't know which three out of the three dinosaurs I prefer the most. I do like this one too. And to me, you know, growing up in the 80s, it was a Brontosaurus. You know, and this is similar to this type of dinosaur, but it had legs. Then for a little while, scientists were saying that Brontosauruses didn't exist. Now they do, and now they go by a different name or something like that. But this one was one that was, you know, very famous because this is the aquatic version of the Brontosaurus. It has fins. And it's very, very nicely done. I mean, strong neck. It's very thick neck. The jaw articulation is perfect. Even painted the inside of the mouth here. You got this very menacing looking, very nice looking figure. I mean, this is probably the more solid out of the three. I mean, Skysaurus is good too. The one thing is that I'm not sure what this is, but if one of you guys can tell me, I think this is where the shield goes into place, because I think this is the shield, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what this indentation is supposed to be. Maybe it's a play feature that wasn't put in the instructions. But it's very nicely done. There's no gimmicks here. I mean, with the fins do move. Very nicely done. The neck, you got ball socket joints throughout the neck where you could like put it in different poses. That's really cool. Let me bring in the original Seasaurus. And this one's a little flimsy because, I mean, he's an old figure, so I don't know if I have him. I mean, with my original version of Magmatron, they haven't seen the light of day for like 23 years, and I pulled them out especially for this review. But I mean, the neck is very thin, and unfortunately the ball socket joint's a little worn out, so it's not going to stay up. But as you can see, the neck is very skinny and very long. And I'm not sure because I've not watched Neo in a long time, but I believe that this becomes like a whip or a weapon. So it's a pretty cool feature. It kind of wraps around Magmatron's robot mode, which I'll get into later on. But I would have to say the Seasaurus, this version of Seasaurus, even with Lansaurus, is an upgrade. I mean, with a lot of the original alt modes, I prefer going with the original versions, but they did such a great job with Seasaurus, Lansaurus, and Skysaurus that I have to say that they did. This figure is a total upgrade from the original version. I mean, even as recent as Beast Wars Neo, because there was a lot of engineering improvements that were made from Generation 1 to Beast Wars, and I felt that a lot of those figures did not need updating. Then they went over to RID 2000, where I was like, I don't know how they're going to update those figures, because those figures were done really well in the proportions, and they look very cartoon accurate. Well, same with Beast Wars Neo. This figure is very nicely done, very, very accurate, and it's not so much a shell former. And the shell formers were like a part of the robot folds around the actual robot and forms the beast. They didn't really have that issue with this figure. It's actually a transformer where it transforms into Magmatron. But I'm going to take C-Source and put that off to the side. And I'm very happy, like I said, with the legacy version of Magmatron. They did such a great job, and even with Sky Source, which kind of blew me away, because when I first got this figure, I thought Sky Source was going to be very lacking. And I mean, a lot of the play features were taken away from the original Beast Wars Neo version to this version, because I believe when you pull the wings, both wings open up in the original version. And one thing that I thought was really cool that carried over from the original version is the little swords right here. You know, the original version, which I'll bring out right now, might as well, you know, do a side-by-side comparison. Because the original version, he's nicely done also. Very nicely done. And the quality did carry through to the legacy version. And as you can see, the swords do come out. They're pegged into place. You got two little pegs right there that peg right into place. And I mean, there's not a lot of weaponry that's used. I mean, there's no missiles or anything that fire from this figure. Neither the original. The original just had the same play feature. You got the movable jaw, which you have with this version. And you got the little molded teeth, which is kind of cute. I mean, the eyes are green for the original version, but I mean, this I believe is more cartoon accurate. And you also have the jaw articulation also, and you have the hands right here. The hands are not they have no articulation in the original hands, but you can also pose them in the same style as the original figure. I believe it's like that and like that. Nicely done. Because with the originals, they're also pegged into place, but they have this little peg on the end where they go into Lance Horse's mouth, and it does have like a firing ability. It's like a little missile ability. It's very nicely done. And also, along with this figure, you don't really see a lot of robot kibble on it. You don't see any robot parts, so it's a well-disguised transformer, as this one is too. You don't really see any evidence of a robot. They did a great job with this figure. Even the back of the figure, I mean, you got some little hollowed out spaces, but that's very forgivable. It's very nicely done. Even the paint job is just fantastic on this figure. You got the talons right here, which is like a gold paint. You got the nails right here, silver metallic paint. So nicely done. And lots of articulation. And you also have that jewel right here, that Predacon jewel, which were also evident on the original figures right there. So nicely done. I kind of wish they kept some sort of feature where you see the pterodactyl arms, or if this is a Pteranodon, whatever it's called. But the original one, they did have that where you pull the wing out and it comes out just like that, because this is the head of Magmatron. You know, it's just hidden inside this little chest cavity. And I kind of thought that would have been cool if they would have done that feature with this figure where they kind of like, you pull the wing out and the other one comes out. But I mean, it's very forgivable, and you know, they wanted to keep the price point very, very nice for this figure. But I'm going to take Sky Source, put them off to the side. Let me go ahead and bring back Land Source and Sea Source, because I mean, this figure is nice, and this is one of the few instances where I would actually recommend buying two. And I know there's the price point's very high on Magmatron, but I mean, the dinosaur modes are just nice. And I mean, you could have fooled me if this would have been on a shelf, especially Sky Source. I would have not known it was a Transformer. It's so nicely done. Now they got Magmasaur in his beast mode. Just want to go over some of his play features. And this is a very confusing, odd construct. I mean, it's like a melding of all three beasts, but it just, to me, doesn't really seem like it serves much of a purpose. I think individually these three modes can cause damage on their own. And you got Sea Source, Sky Source, and Land Source. Merging them together into like a large mess. Doesn't really seem menacing to me. I mean, it kind of gives me that whole Chimera vibe where, you know, there's several different beasts kind of mixed into one, but this one doesn't really offer that much. But it was a mode that was in the actual anime series, and also with the original Magmatron, which I do have on hand in his Magmasaur mode to kind of do a side-by-side comparison. And I mean, it was kind of cool the way they did it with this version of Magmasaur. Didn't really carry over. The coolness didn't really carry over as much as this. And maybe out of all three of the modes, the original Beast Wars Neo version of Magmasaur does kind of carry the torch. It is a little bit cooler, but it doesn't really mend well with the united version of Magmasaur. So I mean, it's not really a play feature I'm really going to encourage, and it was kind of difficult to put these three together. So I would bypass this, keep them either in their separate beast modes or keep them in their robot mode. But this figure does not really need to go into his Magmasaurus mode, in my opinion. Now they got Magmatron in this robot mode, and on my display table, I once again want to go over some of his play features and accessories. First, I talk about his shield. And this is the bottom part of Caesaurus. And if you turn Caesaurus around, you see this little clip right here. It has a couple little notches right on the side of this clip. You got a peg right in the middle. It's actually a 5mm peg. If you look inside of his forearm right here, you got a 5mm porthole, and you got a couple of grooves right there and right there. You want to take this shield now, you want to make sure that peg goes right in that porthole, and that clip goes right into those grooves just like that. And now you have Magmatron armed with his shield. Pretty cool feature, and I'm glad that it kind of carried over from the original Beast Wars Neo version of Magmatron. The next accessory I want to go ahead and bring in is the Magma sword, or the hilt right here. In order to put this blade into this hilt, the bottom of the blade here has a 5mm peg, and this looks like it's molded out of like a rubbery clear plastic that was painted a gray metallic silver, a dark gray metallic silver. Very nicely done. Shining to the light, you got some luster there in certain angles, and you got some nice great mold detail, if you guys can see that on camera. But in order to put it in the hilt, you just put it right into that porthole right there. And the hilt here has some nice mold detail too. You have that purple plastic right here, but you also have that jewel right here, the Predacon symbol on it. Some cool mold detail. Order arm Magmatron with this sword, you have this hilt right here, which is actually a 5mm peg. Each one of his fists has a 5mm porthole. Just want to go ahead and open up his hand so it doesn't really get obstructed by any pieces of the hilt. You want to go ahead and just put that right into his hand just like that. And now you got Magmatron armed with his Magma sword, which is really cool. Another cool little play feature, and they pretty much carried this over from the Beast Wars Neo version of Magmatron, is on a piece of this wing right here is actually a removable sword. It's a really cool play feature. In order to arm Magmatron with either one of these swords, because you got one right here too. The handle right here is actually a 5mm peg. Each one of his fists, again, 5mm porthole, you just stick that right into his fist, and now you have him armed with this little mini sword. Pretty cool play feature. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in. And the only thing that didn't really carry through from the Neo's version of Magmatron is this is also a missile too, and also with the hilt too is actually a blaster. And the cool thing is they actually incorporated the hilt so it kind of turns this way, so you may be able to make a blaster. I know I've tried this before, and I think I'll try it again. But you can also add blast effects. But you got like 7 blast effects that came with Magmatron. You got the standard, which is the wide one. You have the middle one, which let me see if I can find right here. You just plug that right into place because each one of the ends has a 5mm peg. You got the skinny one. And this is your typical blast effect right here. This is what you normally get. You get 3 pieces right here. But this one had an inclusion of a bigger blast effect, which looks really cool if you put it on the bottom right here. And I rarely get this one in any of my sets. I think I might have gotten this blast effect since maybe with Omega Supreme or Skyfire. But you don't really get this blast effect too often. But according to the instructions, you put this blast effect into the hilt like that, and you put the Magma sword right into the top of that blast effect, because they're all 5mm pegs, 5mm portholes, so they're kind of very universal. So you have this awesome effect with the sword, and this is actually on the box art. This is how the Magma sword is shown on the box art on the figure's packaging. So now you got the Magma sword with that awesome blast effect, which is really, really cool. But, like I mentioned earlier on, that hilt that turns like that, this is something that carried over from the Beast Wars Neo and Beast Machine's version of Magmatron, which is, this could be a blaster also, which had a little spring-loaded feature with the original version and shot out missiles. This version they took that out, but like I said, it's very forgivable they didn't incorporate any spring-loaded missiles in any of the War for Cybertron Legacy or Studio Series figures, because a lot of us are adult collectors and the springs wear out over time. But if you want to turn this into the blaster, you just take the blast effects, you just put it right in there, and you take that hilt, and of course it moves around. And this is a little tricky, but you can plug that right into his fist just like that, And now you have Magmatron with his Magma Blaster. Not a feature they tell you about in the instructions, but it's pretty cool. I'm glad it carried over from Beast Machines or Beast Wars Neo, wherever you got this from. My original version came from Beast Wars Neo. I'm going to go ahead and build the sword back up, because I want to go ahead and bring in my Beast Wars Neo, because I do have them on hand, like I showed you earlier on, do a side-by-side comparison. And my weapon of choice for my Magmatron is the Magma Sword, which I think is really cool. Turn this blade around. Very menacing looking, especially with the shield and the sword. I really love this. This figure is a fantastic figure. But now let me bring in my Beast Wars Neo version of Magmatron, and this is the one I got with my 2-pack. It came with, I believe it's called Big Convoy. It's the woolly mammoth version of Convoy. Very, very cool. But I got the 2-pack, and I got this too. And like I said, hasn't seen the light of day in almost 23 years. So I brought this figure, especially for this review, like I promised earlier on. I have a whole vault full of figures, and I love the fact that Magmatron came out because I had an excuse to go and dig this guy out, do a side-by-side comparison. This figure, amazingly, for a Beast Wars figure, or a figure that's over 20 years old, has a lot of articulation, a lot of play features. Like I mentioned, you have the spring-loaded missile right here for this sword here, and if you want to turn to a blaster, you have a little option to flip out the little hilt, turn to a blaster. But you get the Magma Blade, which had a great detail also. But a lot of the cool features for this figure carried over to the legacy version of Magmatron, which I'm very happy with. And this is one of the few figures I've reviewed where all the modes are an improvement, vast improvements over the original. I mean, Magmatron is solid in robot mode, and he had a few good features, like the Skysaurus was superior over the Skysaurus from the legacy version, but that's only because of the wings, you know, can move like that. It's just really nicely done. And even owning this figure, prior to this figure being made, I didn't really see them really making too many vast improvements, but they did, because Landsaurus needed a lot of work. I mean, with Seasaurus and Skysaurus from the original Magmatron, they were pretty solid. But when it came over to this version, they improved Landsaurus. Landsaurus makes this figure just perfect. I mean, this being a large figure, I believe it's over 10 inches tall or more. I can't remember what the stats said earlier on, but if you watch the review one more time, I do go over the stats. This is a very large figure, very hefty figure too. And I do believe that this does command a commander price point, because this is a great figure. It's large, very bulky, a lot of great play features. I love that they bring the blast effects in. Let me go and put my original Magmatron off to the side, because this figure is just fantastic. But I'm going to rotate him off so you can see what it looks like from all angles. Very hefty figure. I mean, not a lot of hollow spacing out there. I mean, his backpack serves a purpose, and he's very cartoon accurate. He's very faithful to the animated model from the Beast Wars Neo anime, which is fantastic. It's a great figure. I only found this at one place. I mean, I see it all over online stores. Very hard to find in store. I know that Armada Optimus Prime got skipped over, you know, on a big box release. This was actually found at a Target, so I can say that Magmatron is out there in the wild if you want to go to the store. But if you don't want to risk going to the store, which I made the mistake with Studio Series Optimus Prime, I thought that was not going to come out in retail or big box, and I'm hearing that, you know, the Studio Series Optimus Prime is being seen at retail as we speak, and I can say I got this from a Target, so this is at a big box retailer, and I would, you know, highly recommend finding this figure in the wild. If not, just go ahead and order it online. If you found any of the information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, and while you're there, click the bell to be notified of any future videos. I want to thank you guys for watching Red Steele's Awesome Toy Collector Review. I'll check you guys out next time.